समझ नहीं आ रहा अपने सैलरी इंक्रीमेंट का क्या करूं।
बेटा इतना क्या सोच रहा है? अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स के एसआईपी का टॉप अप करा ले। दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
क्या समझ में नहीं आया?
बेटा इतना क्या सोच रहा है? अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स का एसआईपी टॉप अप करा ले। दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
आप समझा?
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
The BJP has had a major breakthrough in Kerala, with the southern state getting ready to have its first ever BJP mayor, the mayor of Thiruvananthapuram, which of course falls within the parliamentary constituency of Congress Member of Parliament Shashi Tharoor. Outside of Thiruvananthapuram, it is the Congress-led UDF that has made major gains in the recently concluded local elections. The developments in Kerala raise all sorts of intriguing questions for the impending, soon-to-be-held assembly elections. They also raise interesting questions for the state of play when it comes to Shashi Tharoor and the Congress. Mr. Tharoor recently shared a social media post that was critical of Rahul Gandhi. I'm Barkha, you're with the Mojo story. On the program today, we look at the consequences of the recently held local elections in Kerala, which have created a historical debut moment for the BJP. The state of Kerala will now have its first BJP mayor, the mayor of Trivandrum or Thiruvananthapuram. Thiruvananthapuram falls within the parliamentary constituency that is Shashi Tharoor's seat. Otherwise, across the state, it is the Congress-led UDF that has made major gains in Kerala. This amid rising tensions between Shashi Tharoor and the Congress party, where an uneasy sort of status quo is in operation. Mr. Tharoor recently shared a social media post, a long one, that was critical of Rahul Gandhi. He called the post thoughtful and fair. In recent statements, he said that the problem was not from his side. But given that the Congress-led UDF has managed to make major gains, where does that leave Shashi Tharoor? Also, how do we read the BJP's big historic debut moment, a BJP mayor for the first time in Kerala? Let me introduce our guests on the program today as we look at this very, very interesting local election that will have far-reaching impact on the impending assembly election. Sumant Raman is with us, well-known political analyst. Welcome, Sumant. Sandeep Ghosh is back with us after a long time, and we're happy to see him here. Hope one of many more appearances, Sandeep. Good to see you. Also coming on our show after a long gap is my old friend, Mr. KJ Alphonse. He's, of course, a leader with the BJP. Good to see you, sir. And also joining us for his very first appearance on the Mojo story. Again, I hope it'll be the first of many. I want to welcome Henry Austin, Congress leader from Kerala, to the program. Thank you very much, everybody. I want to start with you, Henry Austin, if I may. Good news for the Congress-led UDF, no doubt, but also a historic moment for the BJP in the pocket of Thiruvananthapuram city. How do you see the big message from these recently held local elections, Henry Austin?
Well, Barkha, to be fair, it is an unprecedented moment for UDF here. We have had a really sweeping poll verdict in favor of the UDF all across Kerala. We have seen a major comeback in the central Kerala areas where Christian minorities hold sway. We've been on the back foot there for quite some time now. So we made a major comeback in those districts also. So all across Kerala, with the exception of Trivandrum or Thiruvananthapuram Corporation, we have had a major comeback and strong showing where we have held sway earlier also. So there is a consolidation here, and hopefully this will, we view this as a semi-final to the finals to come in 6 months' time. So this would definitely translate into a strong comeback at the state level for the Congress-led UDF.
This is a very interesting phrase you just used, a semi-final to the assembly elections. May I ask you, before I go to KJ Alphonse, you said it's historic and there's no doubt that the Congress-led UDF has made major gains. Do you see this, therefore, as a knock, a serious knock for the left? And two, and I'm going to put you on the spot here, does it tell the Congress in Kerala that despite differences with Shashi Tharoor, the Congress can manage without him?
On both fronts, I would say that we are confident of a very strong showing in the coming months because, the grassroots level pulse is evident in the Grama Panchayats and the block level. That is where the actual pulse of the people is evident. So those seats, we have had a major breakthrough this time. Almost, if you look at the total number of seats, UDF has won nearly 11,000 seats as opposed to around about 8,500 seats of the LDF. So there's a clear trend which is emerging that there's a strong anti-incumbency, and the gimmickry of the left has been caught up by the people because just on the eve of the elections, they announced an enhanced pension scheme for the people. They announced an increased pension of 2,000 rupees. And then there was a declaration of extreme poverty eradicated state. See, these kind of gimmicks don't help. I think they went by past experiences that the kits which they gave during the COVID period helped them come back. So keeping that experience in mind, some election eve poll announcements were made, but the people saw through it. And currently the anti-incumbency, the Shabarimala issue, the strong minority consolidation, which has come back to the UDF front, all those factors have actually swept the UDF into a clear position of dominance in the state now. And on the front of Shashi Tharoor, sir, I would just venture to say that he is a respected politician, no doubt, but he is not.
I lost you there, Henry. I lost you there. Please repeat.
Yeah, I'll just come back again. What I ventured to say earlier is that a strong anti-incumbency wave against the government. We have seen through the political gimmickry. Yeah. And as far as Shashi Tharoor sir is concerned, we respect him. He's a respected voice in the country. He's still a Congress political leader. But as far as state politics is concerned, we don't think Shashi Tharoor sir is a critical factor which would determine the poll outcomes in Kerala state. And that is quite evident in Trivandrum also, where he is there.
That's a really big statement, Henry, for you to make. And I'll tell you why. Because one of the things that I remember Shashi Tharoor told me in the Lok Sabha elections was that his next dream was to be Kerala Chief Minister. And here you are saying that he's a respected leader, but he's not really a critical factor in the state level politics. And of course, the handsome performance by the Congress-led UDF has shown that you have done very well, despite the simmering tensions, public tensions now between Mr. Tharoor and the Congress party. More on that later. Let's bring in KJ Alphonse of the BJP. The Kerala getting its first ever BJP mayor is also a big moment to think about and focus on. How do you see the import of this moment, Mr. Alphonse?
Yeah, Barkha, first of all, congratulations to Henry Austin and the Congress party for a big win in Kerala over the LDF, over the left. I think they kind of decimated the LDF, the Communist Party, quite a bit in Kerala. Now, for BJP, we have not been a major player in Kerala ever. For us winning the capital, Thiruvananthapuram Corporation, I think that is very big time. And of course, Mr. Henry Austin and everybody here would know. I think capturing the capital is big time. And that's why it's big news for the BJP, which was a marginal player. So, as Lenin said, we start with the capital. We capture the capital and the rest of it will follow. So history will prove that this is just the beginning. As of now, we have no seats in the Kerala Assembly. But just watch out for the next Assembly elections just a few months down the line. I think it's going to make spectacular changes, differences, gains in the next Assembly elections. I'm not going to tell you how, but just watch out. We are going to. We have the capital and we are going to show how to govern the capital, how to administer the capital, how to make it an ideal capital. And you see, another point, Barkha, is...
Can I ask you a question about the win in the capital?
Sure.
How do you understand the fact that the Congress-led UDF has done so well outside of Trivandrum or Thiruvananthapuram Corporation, but in Thiruvananthapuram the electorate has made a new choice? What I mean by that is They haven't abandoned the left for the Congress as they may have done in other parts of the state. How do you understand that?
Barkha, basically, Henry Austin himself has given the reply to that. The Congress victories have been possible because of the disastrous governance of the Communist Party of the LDF. I mean, take the simple thing. Shabarimala is everybody's favorite god. They stole the Shabarimala deity. The Ayyappan is gone. He's been stolen. Imagine your favorite god being stolen, and who has done it? It's a ruling party dispensation. It's a Communist Party senior functionaries who are presidents of the Devasam board, which administers the Shabarimala. I mean, it's absolute looting. You know, the golden covering casing which was there on the Ayyappan idol is gone long ago. So basically, it's a backlash against the Sabarimala issue, Ayyappa issue, and the bad administration. It's really nothing to do with the Congress party's any performance on the ground at all. Basically, nothing to do with that. So they had a choice to make between the poor the looting of the Communist Party, and of course, you know, to vote for somebody, and therefore they voted for the Congress Party. Number two, I said Trivandrum is just the beginning because if you are asked across the board, most people in Kerala would say they admire Prime Minister Modi, they admire his work, they are fans of Narendra Modi ji. Now, we have organizations problems in Kerala. We don't really have the kind of network which other parties have. We are just the beginners in Kerala, and therefore we don't really have that many seats. But we start with Trivandrum. That is a spectacular victory for us. And from there, we start capturing the rest of the state.
Okay, both the politicians have spoken. Let's get the two political analysts now. I'll start with you, Sandeep, and then come to Sumant. The overall import of this, obviously the BJP thrilled. Rajiv Chandrasekhar, who contested against Tharoor and lost in the Lok Sabha, thrilled with that corporation win. But the Congress has every reason to be very happy as well. Secondly, Kerala is now Priyanka Gandhi's parliamentary sort of, epicenter, for lack of a better word. It is a high stakes sort of state in that sense. It's also high stakes because of the very public battle between Mr. Tharoor and the Congress. Sandeep, how do you see it? And same question to Sumant. So I'll start with you, Sandeep.
First thing is, just as far as Trivandrum is concerned, Thiruvananthapuram, if you see the Lok Sabha elections itself, Shashi won by a very narrow margin. It was just 16,500, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's on the screen. Yes.
Somewhere around that thing. And it came down from almost close to 80 or 90,000 in the previous one, what you're showing here. Almost 1 lakh in the previous thing. So that margin has been dwindling, and that's partly, I don't want to digress towards Shashi Tharoor's own equation there and his prospects, and therefore this what's playing out between him and KC Venugopal, that's a separate story. So, BJP had been gaining in Trivandrum. And that is a space, to some extent, BJP, it's still a long way to go, but it is not as far, as long as people might think. BJP, even in the last Lok Sabha elections, if you find, I was just looking at the numbers, they've already crossed 16.5% vote share, which is not particularly, if you look at West Bengal, at certain point, there was 6 or 7%. And from there, they moved up. So BJP is already a 16, 17%. So it's not a, absolutely insignificant party in Kerala. And what is going to, there are two parts to it.
And the NDA, just on the vote share, the numbers are up on your screen, alliance-wise. You can have a look at them. The LDF in 2021 had 41.5% of the vote share, the UDF 38.4%, and the NDA 11.5%, thereabouts.
That was in the Vidhan Sabha, and if you see in the Lok Sabha, I think it had gone up. If I'm not mistaken, it went up.
We'll pull that out, but go ahead.
About 16.5%. So there are two parts to it. Shunanda Dattara had once made a comment about CPIM in West Bengal. Said the CPIM in West Bengal was not a communist party, but it was a West Bengal party. It was a Bengali party. And similarly, I think today, the CPIM in Kerala or the LDF is also Kerala or a Malayali party rather than being a national or a communist party. And there it has run its course. in terms of the anti-incumbency, etc., just like we saw in West Bengal. And now in West Bengal, you had an alternative of Mamata Banerjee trying to capture that space, and Mamata Banerjee captured it from both sides. Congress was already a washout, so she became, by default, she got from both ends. And Congress also similarly has a local equity in Kerala, but right from the beginning. It used to be a seesaw battle every time we know. So it was also a kind of a very strong regional equity. And through everything, while Congress has decimated its regional leaders everywhere else, again, if you see in Kerala, by default or otherwise, it always had some strong person in Kerala, and which was also represented at the center, whether it's an Antony or people before him, all of it. And today, maybe K.C. Venugopal has taken that spot. So that is there. Secondly, Congress has benefited also, as our colleague on the show was saying, by the minority consolidation. And that's going to happen even more when BJP consolidates its position. You're going to have minority consolidation, and that is going to go in Congress's favor. So all of that is, I think, is going to work in Congress's favor. And as far as CPM is concerned, I think it has, kind of lost its equity by, as people said, by its high-handedness, by all the corruption and various things which has happened there. And, where BJP is gaining is that it is the kind of attack which the CPIM has done on you might say, the constituency which is between the Congress and the left, and which they have seen BJP as the threat. That has also alienated, and that is what's going to benefit BJP going forward. It's still a long way, early days, but I think that's the direction in which it's moving. And unless BJP loses this, messes up its act like it did in West Bengal, I think, and if they're being patient, they can gain over a period of time.
Let me bring in Sumant also, just to clarify the figure that the BJP had in terms of vote share was 16.8%, Sandeep. So therefore you were right on that in the Lok Sabha. Sumant, let's bring you in now. There are lots of different messages from this local election. One is, of course, the knock to the left. And Kerala is really the last state left of significance where the left had any hold. That's point one. Point two, what the Congress-led UDF is saying very confidently and with good reason, that it's semi-finals for the big one. And also saying, yes, we respect Tharoor, but these results have shown he's not a local factor. He's not a local factor for us. Three, the BJP saying, this is a beginning and we've started with the capital. How do you see it?
Okay, Barkha, first of all, I'm not too sure that the NDA has made dramatic gains. Yes, it has won Thiruvananthapuram, but other than that, in the rest of the state, I don't think the BJP has dramatically increased its presence. Compared to the earlier number of wards that they held, they've increased it by around 300 or 400 odd wards. And also in terms of the, in terms of the municipalities and so on. So they have not really made a huge gain. Trivandrum is a trophy. There's no doubt about it that the fact that they were able to win Trivandrum is a huge morale booster for the party, and they've gone to town nationally with it, getting even the Prime Minister to sort of offer his congratulations and so on. So to that extent, it's there. But let's face it, Barkha, Kerala has always had this revolving door policy as far as the assembly elections are concerned. Last time, Pinarayi Vijayan broke that, getting re-elected. And now it's time for the UDF. So there is virtually no doubt that the UDF is going to come back to power. Now, we could say that, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, we were saying pretty much the same thing, but then the LDF managed to squeak through. But I think this time the writing on the wall is clear. Mr. Vijayan has had 10 years. He's now seen to be ailing. He's elderly, and there is no, rising star who potentially could guide the CPM to a third straight term. So clearly, it's going to be the UDF. How big a majority it would be? Because look, we are talking of an election likely in the last week of April, maybe even the third week of April or last week of April. So it's hardly 4 months away. So I'm not too sure that this trend can be reversed by the CPM within that short period of time. It is going to be a UDF government. Having said that, I think Mr. Tharoor, I'm not too sure Tharoor is in the equation at all. You know, from a perspective as far as the assembly elections are concerned, I don't think, I don't believe that as far as certainly not after the recent events and the last straw potentially being the Putin banquet. I don't honestly expect Mr. Tharoor to be part of any serious discussions on the Kerala assembly elections at all. Who it will be, $1 million question. There are, as always, in Congress, there are half a dozen contenders, and I'm sure the Congress spokesperson who's on the show will not be able to hazard a guess or even tell us. See, earlier on it used to be clear, the days of the strongmen like Mr. Karnakaran, and then Mr. A.K. Antony, of course, briefly, and then of course even Mr. Uman Chandy. Uman Chandy was a natural choice, So now there is nobody like that, and you are left with various options who keep getting thrown up. Who does Mr. Rahul Gandhi like? Mr. K.C. Venugopal cannot go there. He's not a mass leader, but he's won multiple MP elections there. Huge permutations, combinations. We don't know the answer, but UDF will win.
Okay, that's a sort of a very categorical prediction from Sumant. And before I ask Henry Austin to hazard some sort of analysis of who might be the CM face if the Congress is so confident, I first want to get Mr. Alphonse. You heard what both Sumant and Sandeep said, that the BJP, of course, Thiruvananthapuram is a trophy, but you very confidently declared that this is a beginning. The fact is that the data, I think, it bears out the fact that there haven't been dramatic gains in other parts of Kerala. What gives you belief that it would be different? Thiruvananthapuram is a different kind of seat. It's very urban. Even if you look at Shashi Tharoor's performance, you will see that in 2014, also his victory margin was quite narrow when you saw Modi basically, coming to power at the center. So what I'm saying is Thiruvananthapuram may be the exception, not the pattern. How would you respond to that, Mr. Alphonse?
Barkha, I'm sure the Prime Minister is going to visit Kerala in the next few months. We're going to sort out the major problems of Kerala, which the LDF and the UDF have not been able to sort out. Now, I don't want to reveal more what the issues are. You will get to hear about it. It will be big time. Perpetual problems of Kerala are going to be sorted out. Wait for the Prime Minister's visit. Number two, the prediction that the Congress is definitely going to form the government. Congress has major image problems in Kerala. Take, for example, their biggest star, Rahul Mangutam, who was the Youth Congress president and who became the member of the Kerala Legislative Assembly. He was the biggest star of the Congress party. Yeah. He is being accused. He's been on the run. He just got a bail because he is being accused by dozens of women for sexual assault. Yeah. And doesn't stop at that. The convener of the chairman of the UDF, that's a Congress conglomerate, came and justified saying that, poor guy, how can he can be thrown out of the assembly? We don't want to do that. Whole lot of Congress leaders, including a Congress MP, and a whole lot of people try to justify him. I think this has created a very extremely hopeless situation for the Congress party. They would never ever be able to get over this kind of an issue because this was not something like that ever happened in Kerala. A senior political leader, the biggest star of the party, being accused of sexual harassment by multiple victims, and the Congress party itself trying to justify it. Of course, he's got anticipatory bail in two cases from the courts, but I'm sure he's going to be convicted soon enough because there's more than enough evidence of it's horrible even to talk about it. Of course, I'm sure people like Henry Austin would have no answer to this. Say, so we are sorry, our people did this, but then these are major issues, Barkha, which turned the tables in Kerala. It did not happen because the Communist Party was at the pits. Therefore, the Communist Party got the beating. But, wait for the elections. I think the people are going to respond. And this is going to be the major issue. The sexual assault cases against their leaders and the justification of some of their senior leaders. And wait, we have captured the
Yeah.
capital. I think we are coming. We are going to be very much there.
I think I'm glad you've actually raised this case because Henry Austin, even somebody else, who's been on the ground in Kerala, was talking about how this is going to be a major challenge. It's done, it's delivered a knock to the image of the Congress. If you'd first like to respond to that, and then I'll have another question on who you might project as the face of the Congress campaign in the assembly elections. But first, do you want to respond to Mr. Alphonse?
Sure, Barkha. I would definitely be glad to respond to this question posed by Alphonse J. This issue has been raised to a high pitch by the LDF during the entire campaign. In fact, that was the central campaign theme for the LDF. They were raising Rahul Mangutil issue as the central theme for the corporation elections. And what is the result? It's a non-issue. Because it's clearly not a non-issue. No, let me just complete.
What do you mean by non-issue?
Let me complete. Let me complete. Please allow me to complete. I patiently heard you, sir. Please let me complete. Let me complete my point.
Okay,
allow me to complete my point.
Can Oh my God, please, gentlemen, we'll behave like gentlemen. Let me come in here. Let's be fair, let me come in here. Mr. Austin, with respect, an allegation of sexual abuse can never be a non-issue, whether it impacts elections or not. It is
precisely,
an issue.
Barkha.
Yeah,
precisely, Barkha. It's an allegation. It is an allegation. Not proved. And he is not convicted. He is not convicted. It is an allegation. It is a politically motivated allegation.
But then why did you? Okay,
why is Alphonse interrupting me? It's my turn to speak. May I speak?
Mr. Alphonse, let's give him a minute and I'll come to you. Minute, please, for you, Mr. Austin. Yes.
This allegation has been played out in the entire media. It has been taken at a high pitch during the election campaign, and clearly the people have rejected it. It is an allegation, precisely the point I want to make. And as a party, Congress has immediately taken action. We have suspended him from the party roles. We have taken action against him.
Can I ask a question?
There are 6 people in the CPM who are facing sexual misconduct cases.
Okay.
What action has the CPM taken against them? And Mr. A.N. Radhakrishnan, who is a state level functionary, he is a centrally accused person in the scooter scam, where thousands of people were, defrauded of money. What action has the BJP taken?
Henry, I have a quick question. You can think about the answer while Mr. Alphonse speaks. And my question is, if you believe that the case is politically motivated, why have you taken action and thrown him out of the party? That's my question. I let Mr. Alphonse come in while you prepare your answer to that. Mr. Alphonse, your interjection.
Mr. Henry Austin, you cooked your own goose and the goose of your party by saying it's a non-issue. Have you not watched videos of the victims saying, the voice recording the videos of the victims saying how many times he sexually assaulted her, that he forced her to have an abortion, and you think it's a non-issue, Mr. Henry Austin? You just cooked your goose. You cooked the goose of your party, Henry Austin. This is exactly, Barkha, the problem with the Congress party. They don't care. They think
now,
a sexual assault
if it's true, I'll respond to it.
And which is so open, which is the videos are available right in the public domain.
And
Mr. Henry Austin and the Congress party think that it's a non-issue.
Let me come in.
Mr. Henry Austin.
Okay. One minute, Mr. Austin, let me come in with a brief question. The headline on the screens, let me read out the headline. The Congress expels Palakkad MLA after court rejects anticipatory bail in rape case. Now, you may have a right to say it did not impact the outcome of the local elections, but sexual abuse allegations can never be a non-issue. That is the limited point that I would like to emphasize. Now, I would like you to respond.
I completely agree with you. What I exactly meant was the same. It is a non-issue as far as an electoral issue is concerned, because this was made into an electoral theme by the LDF, and that is what.
Are you going to take this gentleman back into your party?
I'm very, very clear on this aspect. The party is very clear on this aspect. When this allegation came, as a matter of procedural protocol, Congress party has immediately taken steps against the person. If a person is under suspicion, we have suspended him, and he is suspended from the CLP party also. That is a step which the political party can take. We have done it immediately. And just
You
imagine
never, you never
CPM,
asked him to
sir,
resign
sir,
from the
this is not
assembly.
good. Sir,
Mr.
You
Alphonse,
never
let
this is
him
asked him
not
to
speak
fair.
now.
resign from the
This
assembly.
is
Mr.
not
You
fair.
never
Alphonse,
This
asked
is,
him to.
sir, sir, with
Mr.
all due
Alphonse, let him
respect,
speak, sir.
with all
Let
due
him speak,
respect,
sir.
let
Let
me
him
complete
speak.
my
Let him
point.
speak.
You
Yeah.
had your time. Please allow me
Okay.
mine.
Okay. Okay.
And Barkha, the CPM itself has got MLAs on their rolls who have been accused of sexual misconduct. Mr. Mukesh is there. Mr. Ganesh Kumar is there. There are so many people.
Forget about
What action
CPM.
has the
Yeah, we are
party
talking
taken?
about moral issues. We are
Sir,
talking about
sir,
your
I am
party.
talking
Forget
to
about the CPM.
sir.
Forget about the
uh,
CPM. We are talking about
sir,
your party.
senior person like you should have the restraint. Please listen and then respond.
Okay.
Allow me
Okay.
my time.
Here's
So,
my point.
Mr.
Okay,
Barkha, the
Mr.
Alphonse,
point is
Alphonse.
very,
restraint.
the point is,
Restraint
Mr.
when you
point is
say,
very,
Alphonse.
restraint
Mr.
when you say
sir,
it's
Alphonse.
an
please
honor
don't be so
issue.
impatient.
One at a
Sir,
time. One at a
don't
time,
mis-
everybody.
Barkha,
don't
Mr.
take my
Alphonse.
words out of
Alphonse,
Mr.
context.
I got
Don't
you.
Oh,
please
but
Restraint
don't
when
I
you
take my
say,
will.
words
when you
out.
say it's a non-issue.
Please don't
I
take
will
my
have
words out of
to.
context.
I will have
I've
to.
made my point very clear.
Okay, I'm
The
going to
point
have
is
to
very
mute.
clear. As
I'm
an
going to have to
electoral
mute
issue,
Henry Austin. Yes.
mute me.
Yes. No, no, no.
Please
I'm
do then.
saying. No, no. I'm
Henry,
I
trying to
mean,
get. Okay, 1 minute. 1 minute, everybody. I have heard all of you patiently. I don't like shouting over my guests. Please, I'm requesting you to speak one at a time. Mr. Alphonse and Mr. Austin, please speak one at a time. That is my only request. I'm not muting anybody's thoughts. I'm not muting anybody's right to speak. Just please speak one at a time so we can follow you properly. That's all. Now, I want to bring in Sumant and Sandeep. Mr. Austin, I'll ask you the question again. You said the Congress took action against this particular MLA, but you believe the charges are politically motivated. Point one. Point two, you agree with me and with Mr. Alphonse that no allegation of sexual abuse is a non-issue. You were talking about it in terms of electoral impact. Question three that I have of you, will you take this gentleman back, therefore, into the party before the assembly elections? Now,
can I
can we
respond?
please? Yes,
Yeah.
please. Yes.
So I'll concur with what you have said earlier, Barkha. This issue as an electoral issue is a non-issue as far as the corporation elections are played out, local body elections, because people are given the verdict. Because this was made as a central electoral thing. That is one point number one. We take every allegation seriously, especially in a public person. I myself am a corporator. I just stood for the election and won the election. So we have faced these allegations in the ground level. So, and we know for a matter of fact that any allegation against a person, public person, should be taken seriously. And the Congress party has taken correct steps. Third, point number three, which you said, whether the person would be taken back. The party has an established procedure and policy in these kind of matters. And in due course, if there's a court verdict, if he's convicted, or if it plays out in the other way, at that point of time, the party will convene and will take appropriate action.
Okay, I think that's a pretty lucid response, Mr. Alphonse. I hope all those 3 points answer the questions you've raised. If we can now move on, because I think on this particular case, we need a separate program on this particular MLA, and we'll have both of you back on it. And I take all allegations of sexual abuse extremely seriously as a woman looking at these issues for decades. Now, to you, Mr. Austin, my question is there going to be a CM phase declared? There is a sense that the Congress internally in Kerala is not on the same page because of the Tharoor issue. Tharoor had dreams of being a CM contender. That doesn't seem to be happening. You have said that he's not a factor in local elections. Where do you see the KC Venugopal versus Tharoor, the Tharoor versus Congress battle playing out? And will it lead to the declaration of a leader before the elections are held? And should that be the case according to you?
Barkha, this is a rather complicated question and very limited time to give you a very lucid answer. But I'll just make an attempt of it. What I'll just venture to say is that we are spoiled for choices. We have a plethora of leaders, each one of them capable in their own right, and each one of them having a political base, which is actually good for us. As a party, we have shown that we can work together in the local elections. Each of these leaders were given charges of corporation. Mr. V.D. Sadishan took charge of Ernakulam. He looked after Cochin Corporation. Ramesh Chanithila looked after the Calicut Corporation. K. Muralidharan looked after the Trivandrum Corporation. So each district, each corporation was given charge to major leader. See, organizationally, KC Venugopal is second in the party now as a AC secretary. Naturally, he will be given respect. And V.D. Sadishan, being the CLP leader and the opposition leader, is actually the front runner as far as a normal course of politics is concerned. If you look at the tradition, then he is definitely a front runner. But this does not take away the fact that Mr. Ramesh Chennitthala was a former home minister. He's been a former opposition leader. He's got his own politics. So there is no question of running at cross purposes here. The good thing about it is that each of these political leader, they are working as a team. It's Team UDF now. And we have actually, from the ground, I can vouch for it, saying that we had a mission 2025, which was a part of this local body election, which has turned out beautifully, because we have made adequate and
I'm sorry,
without historical
I have to go to the others.
Yeah.
Okay, just very quickly, Tharoor is not part of Team UDF as a possibility. Tharoor?
Tharoor also has his, Tharoor sir, I worked with Mr. Tharoor in Professionals Congress. He was a national head and I was a district office bearer. So I have first-hand experience with Mr. Tharoor. He is a very urban, very well-known, actually sophisticated face into the Congress with a modern outlook. So he has his own constituency. I will not deny that. That is why we have given him his space, because he is not a typical run-of-the-mill politician. We have politicians who are 24/7 hands-on politicians, and we have politicians like Tharoor. These are different phases of the party, and Tharoor sir has got his persona, his independence to make his views open, and we have given him, the freedom to do that. We have not responded to any of these allegations. If you look at it, so if you can call that difference of opinion, I think as a democratic party, Congress is the only platform where he will be given such a independence to do so.
Okay, let's get the others now. You've spoken on a lot of different points. I want Sumant and Sandeep to react, and then we'll take last comments from everybody. Sumant, Alphonse says to Henry, your goose is cooked. I think the person right now in a very awkward position is Shashi Tharoor, because, he is kind of caught between a rock and a hard place in terms of political options. The BJP is clearly soft on him after Operation Sindoor. He was, a very pointed invitation was made to him for the Putin banquet. The Congress publicly said that given that Mr. Gandhi was not invited, Tharoor should not have gone. Tharoor has since shared a post that actually criticizes Rahul Gandhi, and he's called that post thoughtful and fair. Mr. Henry is being very diplomatic and talking with great respect for Tharoor, but is being blunt about the fact that he's not a factor in the Kerala state elections. Now what happens?
No, Barkha, he's clearly pushing for expulsion. And the Congress is not doing that, because if they do expel him, he continues to remain an MP. So I think that, he's doing everything in his power to push the Congress high command to a stage where they will no longer accept him in the party. And so far they've given him, more than a long rope, and he's still continuing the strategy of embarrassing the high command. Look, when your leader is not invited to an event, which he is by right and convention entitled to be invited to, it is an extremely poor taste. Saying that, I'm the head of the External Affairs Committee and all that, that doesn't wash. At the end of the day, your party leader, the leader of the opposition, and your party president have not been invited. It has been convention to have invited the leader of the opposition to such banquets. And when you're not, and you still insist on going, clearly you're saying, expel me, I dare you. And I think that at some point, the Congress will have to take that call. As far as the Kerala Assembly election is concerned, I think Mr. Austin is being very polite here. There's no way that Mr. Tharoor is going to have any role to play as far as the Kerala Assembly elections are concerned. Clearly, as he said, Mr. Satishan, being a 5-time MLA and the leader of the opposition, would probably be, nose in front. But, just like in the BJP, in the Congress also, it used to be the other way around, Barkha. You remember, in the Congress, you could not predict, but the BJP, you had strongmen. Now, in the BJP, you cannot predict. Every time they pull a rabbit out of the hat, and some totally unknown person becomes a chief minister. So here, yes, Mr. Chennitthala is there, very, very senior leader, been there, been a home minister and so on. So there are a lot of aspirants. So how Mr. Venugopal, what do you do with Mr. Venugopal? Because for him, the Congress coming to power at the center seems to be a long shot. Why not, whereas in Kerala, it could happen in 4 months' time. So he might fancy a shot at the top job in Kerala. So a lot of contenders, but I think it's a good problem to have, rather than worry about being marginalized and losing the election. It's a good problem to have for the UDF.
Okay, so Sandeep, I think Sumant is quite blunt that, this doesn't leave Tharoor anywhere in Kerala politics. The question is, what next for him? Before we come to Kerala elections, both Sumant and Henry seem to agree on one thing, that Mr. Tharoor is not a player in the Kerala assembly elections. And that was actually what he was looking to do. He had very much hoped that after 3 terms in parliament, perhaps he could be a chief ministerial contender. That is clearly out of the question. Now we're talking about a scenario where he's not even involved in the campaign, most likely, given the open war with the Congress party. The BJP, now, ironically, for the BJP, he's perfect where he is. If Tharoor were to leave the Congress, he wouldn't be maybe of so much value politically to the BJP, because the BJP also likes to embarrass the Congress with, highlighting some of these differences. How do you see it?
Yeah, just half a minute before I come to Tharoor, I must comment, on Mr. Henry's remarks about this particular leader, as well as his citing that in CPIM there are also several leaders who have been similarly accused. I think you're trying to normalize these issues about. It sounds like you're trying to normalize the issue of sexual assault being something par for the course in Kerala, which I don't think is fair either to Kerala or to the women of Kerala or anybody. I think we should be a little more sensitive on that matter, because that's how it sounded, that, okay, it doesn't matter electorally, and so what we have, there are so many people in CPIM also with similar thing. I don't think that...
He would like to respond to you. So before you make your point about Tharoor, let him respond. Let him allow a brief interjection and you can respond back. Yes, Mr. Henry Austin.
Sir, your point is well taken. If I did come across like that, I'm sorry about it, because that's not what I meant.
Okay, fair enough. I think that is... thank you for that, Mr. Austin. I think it was an important clarification. Okay, Sandeep, go ahead.
Coming to Tharoor, you see, Barkha, I think Tharoor was playing his cards. The Lok Sabha elections itself showed him that next time around, he wasn't sure if he can win also the Lok Sabha from Thiruvananthapuram. So the only card he had to play was to say that if he could keep his relevance in the state politics by forcing, the high command to make him the chief minister, or at least the chief ministerial candidate. And he also would have read that, the UDF has got a fair chance of winning the thing, and if that he would have got. So that is how he was initially playing. But obviously, the whole past this thing about contesting against the official candidate in the presidential poll, etc. These things are not easily forgotten in Congress. So to that extent, I think that is closed. Tharoor also realizes that, and Tharoor now has to seek relevance for himself at a national level. I don't think within the Congress, as of today, unless there is a revolt or a split within the Congress, nobody is going to, they can all socialize with him and have photo ops, etc. But not too many people are going to, associate themselves with their BJP has its own. So Tharoor will have to create some kind of a relevance for himself, and at best hope, as a neutral candidate. Somebody was joking yesterday, I don't know, on this thing, can he join the JDU? BJP doesn't take him, maybe the JDU can take him, TMC can't join. So he'll have to figure that thing out, and maybe BJP will give him some some positions like that to stay relevant until the right time comes for him to make a switch, etc. But overall, in Kerala, I think I would go along with Suman that UDF has the fair chance of coming back. It may not have a sweep like you're saying. LDF will recover its ground. BJP, I don't see coming, or NDA coming into power immediately. They might improve their tally. Congress has a fair chance. But again, Barkha, there, I don't think Congress is going to declare a chief ministerial face, because I'll tell you a slightly different take I have. They have to show Kerala as a victory for Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi. Everywhere else it is said, you go to Bihar, go to anywhere, Rahul Gandhi campaigns and they lose. They don't really have something to show, so they are not going to give it, and neither is KC Venugopal going to allow somebody else to emerge as a strong person from Kerala. So that they will get into, even after they win, they will get into this remote control chief minister mode. And that will become the ultimate undoing of UDF going forward, which will give BJP and others the space, either LDF to come back or BJP to grow further. They were going to go the same route as other states, but certainly this time I doubt you will find anybody, including Mr. K.C. Venugopal. But K.C. Venugopal is far too important, as we all know. He is the power factor in Delhi. The kind of clout he wields in the party today, for him to move away from the center is not something he would appreciate. So you are going to see a faceless contest, and everything is under Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi.
Okay, we're almost at the end of time. I'm going to give a 30-second closing remark to both Mr. Alphonse and to Henry Austin. I'll start with you, Mr. Alphonse. What is going to be the most important X factor in the next 4 months from the BJP point of view in Kerala?
I think BJP is going to come up, and especially the Prime Minister is going to come up with a couple of ideas for Kerala to solve the perpetual problems of Kerala, which the UDF and the LDF have not been able to sort out. And I don't want to be specific about this because let the Prime Minister himself talk about it. I think that's going to make a dramatic change in the way people are going to look at the NDA, the BJP, and I think we're going to create a lot of space. I don't know how much space, but a lot of space.
Okay. Henry Austin, do you agree with the assessment that the Congress will not declare a chief CM candidate before because it's a problem of plenty?
We have not had a historical precedent also, Barkha, because we have never declared a CM phase even in early elections. The convention is that the elected MLAs will select the leader. And if there's a confusion, the High Command will step in. That's been the convention so far. So I think that will continue. And as far as we are concerned, we don't need to project one single leader as a CM phase. The party is working as a whole. It's Team UDF. So the semi-final will definitely translate to a victory into the final. We are confident of that.
Okay. I think there's no doubt that it has been a big win for the Congress-led UDF in Kerala. It's also been a big trophy seizing moment for the BJP in Thiruvananthapuram. Both of these factors are simultaneously true. The advantage politically does appear to rest with the Congress-led UDF. That's as much as we can say for now. And Tharoor seems to have found himself pushed out of that Kerala frame. He does now need to find another political frame to operate within at the central level. Who will provide that frame? That's $1 million question. We will leave it there. Thank you to Henry Austin, to KJ Alphonse, to Sandeep Ghosh, and to Sumant Raman, and to our audience. Thank you so much, everybody. See you all very soon.
It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.